Hello and welcome to the 20th episode of the Tekken School series. Today we're going to talk about a topic I think is extremely important, and it is punishment. So I'm going to explain what it means, how do you do it, how do you practice it, and why is it so important. So basically when people talk about punishment, they're talking about whenever like you put a character in a situation, right, whenever a player puts himself in a situation where he is minus 10 or more on block, that means they are punishable, right? So as you can see, every time I make an opponent block a button, right, there's different frame data. This is 0, this is like minus 11, this is minus 9. Whenever this minus frames exceed minus 9, so it's minus 10 or higher, generally the character is considered punishable. Now there are situations where a character cannot punish even though they are like plus 10 like this. There are situations where like this, for example, due to spacing is a bit difficult to punish. There are like a few characters that can punish it, or in like specific spacing, like near the wall, for example, where you could, because there's less pushback. But yeah, just generally speaking, moves minus 10 equal punishable. So yeah, why is punishment so important? Generally speaking, the punishable moves are moves that either have like some merit on hit, right? They're like very good on hit. So moves that are like launchers are usually punishable, right? Not all of them, but like some of them, depending on their speed and their other properties. So like hop kicks, very common punishable example. Down for twos on most characters are like launchers. So no, not this one. I think it was this one. No, maybe this. Yeah, this one. This is the down for a 2 for Dragunov. As you can see, it's minus 12, right? So I can get this like little flicker light there that says punish whenever I block it and attack back in time. So the reason why it's so important to be on top of your punishment game is that when opponents throw out punishable moves, they have really good reward on them. But you should get a reward for blocking them. So if you block a launcher from the opponent, right, you get to punish them with your jab string. And this kind of like more defensive gameplay is like basically the opening you get once you punish someone. Not this one, right? Once you get your punish, whether it's like 10 frame or higher, right? Once you get your punish, right, you'll see you'll be usually plus, or you could maybe go into stance, right, and affect like your mix-ups. So you take your turn and you chip away at the opponent at the same time. Another thing that is kind of good to remember is that like a lot of these punishments don't put in gray health. Most of them don't. So when you do this, right, you see there's no gray health. This is unrecoverable health that is all taken. Okay, so punishment is very important because of these reasons. It's to shut down opponents who use very risky moves that have a lot of good reward, right? Like launchers or maybe evasive moves, right? Like backswings. It also is important against lows. So you'll have different sets of punishers for lows and for highs and mids usually. And there is like the standing punish, right? Like jabs is like a standing punish example, and there's the while standing punish like this. And generally speaking, when you're starting out with punishes, you want to either divide them into 2 or 3 categories. And it's like the fast punishes, which is usually a jab string. For some characters, it's a different kind of thing. It's like maybe a punch kick. Sometimes it's like a punch punch. Could be punch punch punch. Like it really depends from character to character. If you're not sure where your 10 frame punishments are, you can either go to punishment training, and in punishment training, right, you'll be forced to block moves, and the computer will tell you to do moves, and you'll see, oh, it tells me to do shoulder. That's a 13 frame move that it wants me to use to punish. Then it tells me to use 1 2 2 to punish this, and for while rising, you get the same information, right? It tells me to do this to punish this move, for example. Right, so it's a good way to just find this out. If you don't want to do the punishment training, I mean, I think personally it's a shame. Punishment training is a great thing to do. It's not too hard to do, and it teaches you a bit about the opponent that you're playing against. But there are a lot of guides that you can check online to see like what's punishable and how do I punish with my character. It's usually a very common thing people mention in their guides, like your 10 frame punish and other punishes. So as I said, you want to divide your punishments to 2 or 3 categories. And the 2 main categories you want to think about is like your 10 frame punish and your launch punish. So launch punish usually comes out at 15 frames, right? For some characters it's a hop kick, some it's down for a 2. Other characters get either faster or slower ones. This is character to character kind of thing. So if you have a faster one, or if you have a unique type of punish, then just like find which one that is. I'm sorry, I just don't know what character you're playing, so you know, just figure it out. You'll be okay. Again, if you're looking for what's your 15 frame punish, the last option here will be punishing a rage art, which is minus 15, right? So if I just remove everything and I just want to see what's this, right? I want to see how to punish this. Oh, it says, oh, do a hop kick. Okay, hop kick, no problem. So yeah, okay, we learned how to punish minus 15 frames. So that's generally how you do your punishment game, right? You learn your launch punish, your 10 frame punish, and you can learn a middle punish if you want to. Some characters have really beefy options, like Fang, for example, has this shoulder. Usually you do this shoulder only to punish people, right? Because it's very punishable on block. Right, on block, minus 19, not very good to do. But if you know somebody's minus 13, getting this shoulder is very, very nice. Deals a lot of damage, gives you heat engager, so super strong overall. And it's very important to use this, right? Very important to kind of have this in your attention. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, let's go back to defense here. So that's the 3 categories of punishments. You can, if you're struggling with this or it's too much information, go with 10 frame, 15 frame, or 10 frame launch kind of situation. And yeah, just remember to kind of like use them when it's appropriate. For wall standing, you have kind of the same deal. You can technically punish 10 frame with jabs, but most lows are actually starting at minus 11. And you're, generally speaking, for most characters, wall standing 4 is the 11 frame punish, right? Some have better ones, some give knockdowns, some just give plus frames. Just know that after hitting a wall standing 4, usually it's your turn, and you can kind of like press on your attack, even though there is a little bit of pushback sometimes. So just keep these things in mind. It still starts your turn, because the opponent will struggle to press stuff there. So yeah, so we have wall standing 4, and then you can have like a middle punish kind of thing, like a medium one. This is what Fang has, right? You will find these in the punishment training again. So you can look for them there. And at 15, usually for most characters, you get the 15 frame launcher. A few characters don't get it. They get it either later or earlier. I'm going to stop repeating this, okay? It's very obvious what you're supposed to do if you don't have a 15 frame one. Just find your other one. Something that some people don't know is from wall standing, you can actually punish with hop kicks. Like these kind of up forward options are accessible from crouch. So if I block a move that is minus 15... like I think I recorded it here, I think. Yeah, this is minus 15, for example, as you can see. So I do have a 15 frame launcher, so I could just do this, right, and I'll say punish. If my character doesn't have one, and I do have a hop kick, I can use a hop kick to punish because it's accessible. The same is true if you have an up forward move that is like useful to punish stuff. Maybe it's a fast up forward 2 move. So they are accessible from crouch, just like keep that in mind, right? As long as you don't have like something that would stop you from doing it. So yeah, these are the classes of punishments, fast, medium, and launch usually. There are more in-depth ones. Don't think about it too much in the beginning. Start with the basics and progress as you go. Now let's talk about how to understand like how much punishable. How do I even figure this out outside of just like going to training mode and looking, right? So one option that you can do is during a match, right? Your opponent will throw out a lot of moves at you, right? And this is something I really recommend doing when you're playing like online, right? Start to categorize stuff, right? You see backswing moves, right? Launchers, like down for a 2s that launch, armor moves that are mids, right? All these, like if you start putting them in groups of like, okay, all these are punishable, it'll be easier to kind of recognize whenever somebody's doing something. And always start with like a 10 frame punish, right? You can start with like a 10 frame punish. It's okay if you don't do like the most optimal one. If your 10 frame punish is safe, that's even better. So you can just like throw it out. And you just want to check, right? You want to check. If your opponent gets hit, maybe that's a punishable move. And you can kind of like store it in your head. I can punish this, right? Now, if you block a move and you see, okay, this is punishable. I can punish this, right? You can say now, okay, let's try a higher level punish, right? So I blocked this and I punished it with my jabs, but I want to also check maybe it's punishable with a shoulder, right? And remember, you're online to learn, not only to win. So it's okay in a match, like you check it, okay, and I get a hit, so it's probably also minus 14 punishable or minus 13, right? So this is how I recommend kind of like learning these things live during play. You don't need to jump into training mode, just to get like an experience. Once you start doing this a lot, you'll get in habit of just like jab checking after like blocking something. You just to check if it's like, is it punishable, is it just minus? And this is how you can like learn slowly about like moves, frame data, using your 10 frame punish, right? It's better if your 10 frame punish is safe to do that. You can also just check with a jab. You don't have to do the entire 10 frame punish. Remember, the jab on hit is still a very good situation because it's +8. So it's not the end of the world if you let go of one punish just to learn something is punishable. So yeah, that's how you kind of do it. With wall standing, you do the same, but with wall standing 4, right? Like so. Most wall standing 4s are safe. You can also do it with the dick jab, right? Like so. You have the 11 frame one, you have the 10 frame one. So you can do that if you do have access to it. Not all characters have access to it, or at least not to both of them. So yeah, these are how you kind of like check if your opponent's punishable, and you kind of accumulate that knowledge. Once you do that enough times, you'll start seeing like a lot of patterns, like the mid armor moves or down for a 2s that launch, hop kicks, and backswing blows, right, are usually launchable, right? If I tell him to do, I think that one was the backswing. Yeah, you'll see that this one is minus 15. If I do mine fangs, you'll see it's also very punishable, right? Minus 15. Generally speaking, many backswing blows are launchable. Many, not all. So it's a good thing to kind of like escalate slowly. And if you see somebody getting hit by like a 13 frame punish, then you can maybe go for this now, right? You can check, okay, maybe now I do the launcher punish. And you block, and yeah, let's try to block this. Okay, we get a launch. Yeah, we get a combo, and that's epic. And yeah, that's basically how you slowly learn about punishes. Remember, punishes are super important to kind of play the game, especially if you're a defensive player. They will take you a long way, and they will also help you learn about other characters, right? You'll learn like their frame data, you'll learn what they do that is safe. And if you think like a move should be punishable, but it is actually safe, usually it means it'll be like around the -6 to -9 area, which means you can start enforcing like maybe stronger moves, like these kind of mids to check your opponent. So yeah, having this kind of mindset of like, I'll check with jabs, I'll slowly like learn how punishable a move is like a really good way to go about learning. And punishment is one of the pillars of Tekken. Making sure you punish things properly will definitely be a big part of your gameplay once you get used to it. One last bit about punishment, something that many people don't know, or people that come from different fighting games are confused about, is that you can actually mash punishes often. So I'm gonna hop into not combo challenges, we're punishment training. No, actually I don't need punishment training. I want you to see my my command history. So let's go into defense, right? And let's do, for example, the armor move, right? So now Dragunov is doing an armor move. This is a mid, right? So mid armor move, generally speaking, punishable, right? And I'm gonna punish it with a jab. I want you to see my command history, okay? Focus on it after I block, okay? Right? Do you see this? As you can see, like during the block stun, right? You have a lot of time that you can press till something happens, right? There's a lot of time there where like nothing's happening, even though I'm pressing, right? It takes a lot of time to come out. I can kind of show the same with like maybe a 1 button, right? You'll see how like I can press like 3 times till the action actually comes out. So this is something like people kind of struggle with. They feel like they have to like do it so cleanly. They have to like wait for the block stun to end and then press. And technically you don't really have to do that. It is better if you're very clean with your inputs. Always it's better if you're clean. But if you're struggling to time stuff out and you just kind of need to get this like punish out, you can just kind of like mash things out. It's okay, right? even if it's not preferable. Just to kind of like get the feel for punishing people. So yeah, you can just kind of buffer them. If it's a useful tip for you, I'm glad. If not, just ignore it. But it is true. Anyway, homework for today. Learn your 10 frame and launch punishes for both standing, and 11 frame and launch punish for crouch. Okay, for standing, for crouching, or while standing. Yeah, learn both of them. So there's 4 moves you need to find out. Okay, for Fang, for example, 10 frame, right? This, launcher, this, while standing 4, and while standing 3. Okay, Fang mains, I got your back. Some characters, right? Not all of them have safe ones, safe 10 frames. So it's really good to be aware of that. A lot of characters have plenty of 10 frames, right? For Fang, you have like, I think like, yeah, 3 viable ones that you got. So yeah, just keep these things in mind. Some characters only have 1, and it's okay if they only have 1. And yeah, just like explore your character. Make sure to practice punishing stuff. I believe doing punishment training is important, so in my opinion, go do it, but you don't have to do it. It is very good though, it's useful. Alright, I'll see you in the next video, and soon we're going to start covering character matchups. Now that we know our punishments, and we know how to duck and all these things, we're going to start implying them on other characters. So we're going to learn slowly how to deal with each character day by day, till we cover the entire cast. With that said, bye-bye-bye.